So I don't think it took long to realize that Madeline was different from. But I think how different it was immediately clear that she was physically different from other cats with the TMJ, with the small size. I had a cat that was a small size named Baby. She was a tuxedo, different breed. She had tooth problems. I had paid for the dental work on Baby like a year earlier. So it made sense to me to, be drawn to a cat her size and with her condition, knowing I paid for dental work before. She might need it in the future. It was kind of like wait and see how she does after teething. We didn't know where her jaw was going to end up for a while. It went through phases, At first, I bought a bunch of, I bought pens, and I was going to sell pens to try to fundraise for her. I wasn't sure what I was going to do, how I was going to pay for the dental work. I started looking up specialists her first year, and I just got head over heels, and with her and her with me. I was her mom, from then on in. We did everything together. How different was strange. I'd never had a cat that just wanted to perch on my shoulder, for example, and just sit there. And, I still feel like she's missing. I feel like I have to lean here to get her in the camera a lot of the time because that's her spot. And this is really where we should be on YouTube. She should be here. I should be here. 6 years I spent with this 3-pound weight here, and I feel naked right now. I have for almost 2 years, and I just didn't realize how different, I watched programs about Bobo the chimp, the family that took in Bobo the chimp, and I caught myself kind of saying, really self-conscious watching Bobo the chimp because I felt like I was in that movie sometimes. She was just, I don't know, she had the energy of a meerkat. She had probably the size of a meerkat, but she had the agility of a Siamese cat. Temperament-wise, we nicknamed her Spaz. That was all we really could. She was a little spitfire. She went nonstop from the moment she wakes up till the moment you go to sleep and then beyond. She just ran my life from the moment she walked in the door, and quite consensually as well. She was just my little buddy. My, go-to every day. I guess that's what makes this so devastating that, someone for a commercial interest, for a tax write-off, for a little black ink to, from red ink to black ink therapy at their shelter could take away something so precious, for no good reason other than they just didn't like her body type. They wanted to use their own veterinarian rather than her specialist. Yeah, those people don't deserve licenses, badges, or guns. So that's beside the point. But Madeline, she's there every day. She sits on my shoulder. Breeze followed me everywhere and slept with me every day for 16 years. Everywhere. We used to call Breeze like a dog because how she would walk around with me. Madeline went one better than Breeze. Breeze just wanted to walk behind me. Madeline wanted to be on my back wherever I walked. This was like more than a papoose because a papoose grows up and walks on their own eventually. 6 years later, you're not still carrying the papoose. So I feel pretty strongly about this being my child. Quite frankly, yes. 6 years. Many mothers do not carry their young that long. They don't. So yeah, I did. This shoulder did put in the time. Still is. It's a weight I cannot get rid of, and I would not want to. And it shouldn't have been replaced with the one the state gave me in its place, frankly. I miss her dearly. She's my best friend. She's everything. I call her so many nicknames. My second head, my other head is one of them. That cat is just in my thoughts every day, in my mind, and everything I do. I've been lost without her the last 2 years. You wake up every day to the same face, reminding you. She reminds me of everything. When the other cats aren't able to get my attention, she just pounces on me and will circle an object until I remember something. She is, I don't know, I guess, not just my best friend, but, I'd say as far as being a brain injury survivor and car crash victim and just non-traditional body type issues from scarring to missing teeth. She's just the best friend anyone can have. She's a non-traditional body type of cat. She's got 2 dental challenges because of her size. She's has to stand her ground and assert herself with animals, more so than other cats. She's almost like a cryptid, she's very much like a mixed temperament. Even Siamese, I've never seen that hyper. Meerkats, I've never seen that agile. And, other breeds of mother cats, I never saw that affectionate when she eventually grew to have a litter. We never thought she was going to have a litter. We never thought she was going to live the first year, My hope for her was just to, I never imagined her living as long as she did. And it was only because the dog officer didn't know about her. But she was healthy. She was 3 pounds. We took her to the specialist who eventually told us that, she might have like a 50-50 chance of surviving the surgery. And even if she does survive the surgery to fix her jaw situation, there's no guarantee that she was going to be able to eat with it afterwards. So basically what the specialist told me is, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. She's getting along fine. And it was something that we were going to keep an eye on and keep that option, the surgical option, open in the future. But basically, we were just going to see what, time brought us. And I was just thrilled to have as much time with her, as I could. I wanted nothing but to extend our years together. I knew a cat like her was miraculous. I even found her to begin with, and to keep her alive that long was miraculous too. The fact that she was able to even conceive at her size was mind-blowing to me, mind-boggling. In 6 years, it never happened. I didn't think, I thought maybe because of the TMJ, she just, other things maybe didn't function. Because I thought if she was going to get pregnant, she would have gotten pregnant by then. And, she didn't. I had her brother who was intact around for a while. They weren't all intact. We had Ozzy in the house for like a year and nothing had happened. So I thought maybe it's because, she was unable to. There was like a problem conceiving, or maybe something related to her TMJ or a birth defect made it difficult for her to conceive as well. Well, I was wrong, We found out over time, time and experience, we found out, me and my veterinarian, we found out that she was more than able to conceive, capable of giving birth, nursing her young. And, you know, we were dealing with, like, odds, you know. I mean, my whole life with her, you know, it was always unusual to have a cat like her, and it was never the usual protocol. Warehouses and charities alike would have put her down for her condition. So, you know, from the moment I met her, she was on borrowed time, and my species already determined for her species that we could not be friends, and her condition could not exist and could not do all the things that she did. And I always told her this, that she was special, you know. She was a special kid. And it's just a miracle that I even found her. And my only regret is that I could not protect her from my species, who prejudged her and was always saying how rabid she looked because she was thin. Always wanted, you know, when the townspeople gathered around Frankenstein's house to get a look at the monster and wanted to know why her tongue was that way, when the children would gather around and call her a kitten 2 years after they called her a kitten previously. You know, I would get a lot of comments, you know, people presuming I am starving her when she's a smaller breed. We had absolute joy as friends together, and we caught absolute hell from my species because of it. It's my species that's to blame, not hers. They were very accommodating and nice. They were the ones that understood our friendship better than my own. Even the other cats weren't really jealous of Madeline. They helped Madeline. It was a team effort, caring for her as a family member. As a family member, she was part of a team, not an island of fundraising for a pseudo charity that wouldn't even have kept her alive 6 years ago when I met her. Or 8 years, now that I'm waiting for trial. I don't see why their charity should get her TMJ for their resume now, when they certainly wouldn't have kept her alive then. And I definitely don't see why they are entitled to a litter of kittens of hers when they wouldn't have kept her alive then. She should be entitled to her parental rights. And I seem to be the only one that recognizes her as more than some circus freak show sob story. Maybe that's what originally attracted me to her and got me to sympathize. But I know, through knowing her all these years, caring for her, allowing her to become what she did, the independent individual that she is, not just the circus sideshow of fundraising a warehouse turned her into. I know that she's more. She knows that she's more. And I know that's all this state has reduced her to. My best friends deserve better. They were here for me, and I'm trying to be here for them. But I'm finding it incredibly difficult because of my own species.